All right, let's get right into it. The next time you open a bag of chips or a pouch of coffee or pretty much any snack wrapped in that crinkly plastic, I want you to take a second and really look at it. Because that simple, everyday wrapper, it's right at the heart of a huge global shakeup in design, in science, and in law. And yeah, it is definitely about to change.
You've been there, right? Standing over the recycling bin, holding some package and just thinking, does this go in here? And so often, especially with flexible plastics, the answer is a big, frustrating no. But why is that? I mean, why is so much of our packaging basically designed to just be thrown away? To figure that out, we actually need to look at why it was designed that way in the first place. For decades, packaging had one job, and one job only: protect the product inside. That's it. Keep it fresh, keep it safe, make it last as long as possible on the shelf. And to do that, engineers got really smart, creating these complex materials by layering different kinds of plastics together, often with a super thin layer of metal. But now, the entire rulebook has been torn up. There's a new goal that's completely non-negotiable: recyclability.
And look, this isn't just a gentle nudge from environmental groups. We are talking about a total, top-to-bottom rewrite of the rules for packaging, and it's happening all at once, all across the world. This is really a story about how new laws, tight deadlines, and big taxes are forcing an entire industry to reinvent itself.
And this isn't some problem for the distant future. These deadlines are hitting right now. By April 2025, the UK's plastic tax gets even more expensive. Just a couple months after that, brand new producer responsibility laws start kicking in across the US, starting in Oregon. And by 2027, the UK is going to require those exact same plastic films, like our chip bags, to be collected right from your curb. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So, here's where things get really tricky for brands. While everyone agrees on the big picture goal, they're all writing slightly different rules to get there. You've got the EU rolling out its massive packaging and packaging waste regulation, the PPWR. The US is going state by state with laws that make producers pay for recycling. And the UK is using a combo of taxes and new collection mandates. Can you imagine being a global brand trying to design one package that follows all these different rules at once? It's a huge, high-stakes puzzle.
So if you're a packaging engineer in the middle of all this, what on earth do you do? All these new regulations mean the old playbook is useless. You have to go back to the drawing board and start designing for a totally new era. And the hero of this new era has a name: monomaterial. The idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of that cocktail of different plastics all fused together, you design the package to be made from just one main type of plastic, like polyethylene. And for a recycling facility, that is a total game changer because it makes sorting and reprocessing so much easier and more effective. Which brings us to a super important point, and it's summed up perfectly in this quote: monomaterial is a threshold, not a slogan. This isn't just some feel-good marketing word you can slap on a label. No, it's a hard technical standard that your package either meets or it doesn't. So just how tough is that standard? Well, let's look at the rules from Recyclability, which is a major voiceover in the EU. For a plastic film to get their best-in-class rating for recyclability, at least 95% of its weight must be one single plastic, like polyethylene. That leaves you with this tiny 5% sliver for everything else: the inks, the glues, and that all-important barrier that keeps your food from going bad. And this right here, this is the core challenge. This is the designer's dilemma. That barrier is the freshness shield. It has to block oxygen and moisture. In the old packaging, a layer of metal or a thick coating of a special plastic called EVOH did that job perfectly. But now you have to engineer a shield that works just as well, but it has to fit inside that tiny 5% budget. It is an incredible scientific puzzle to solve.
Okay, so what happens if companies just don't solve that puzzle? Well, these new rules aren't just suggestions. They come with some serious financial teeth that are designed to hit companies right where it hurts: the bottom line.
Let's make this feel real for a second. In the UK, if your plastic packaging doesn't contain at least 30% recycled content, you get hit with a tax. And as of April 2025, that tax is a whopping £223.69 for every single ton of packaging you put on the market. Now, for a big company, that can run into the millions. It's an incredibly powerful reason to redesign.
At the same time, in the US and the EU, they're using a different tool called Extended Producer Responsibility, or EPR. It's a really simple but powerful idea. Step 1, producers have to register. Step 2, they report super detailed data on every single package they sell. And step 3, they pay fees based on that data. Basically, it makes the company that created the packaging pay for dealing with it at the end of its life. The less recyclable your package is, the more you're going to pay. Simple as that.
So let's pull all of this together. With all these new regulations, these taxes, these design challenges, what does the future actually look like when we're walking down the grocery aisle? What are we going to see on the shelves?
You can really see the evolution right here. On the left, you've got that classic, shiny, crinkly bag. But that metallic layer that looks so premium, it's a total recycling killer because it contaminates the whole plastic stream. The future is the package on the right, a monomaterial film. It might not be quite as shiny because it's using a super thin, clear barrier instead of metal, but it was designed from day one with one goal in mind, to actually get recycled.
So what's the bottom line for you? Well, first, get ready to see new and hopefully clearer recycling labels on stuff. Second, monomaterial is the new buzzword to watch for. It's a good sign that a brand is getting with the program. Third, don't be shocked if some of your favorite packages start to look or even feel a little different. And finally, just remember that the brands that don't adapt are going to face higher costs, and sooner or later, that cost gets passed along.
And all of this leaves us with one last really big question. We are witnessing this massive, coordinated, global push to redesign packaging from the molecule up, all driven by law and economics. It is, without a doubt, the biggest shift this industry has seen in a generation. But will it be enough? Will all this work finally solve the incredibly complicated puzzle of plastic recycling? Well, that is the billion-dollar question, and we're all about to see the answer play out on our store shelves.